So we've been covering the insanity that's been going on between ICE agents, the mayor, the governor out there in Minneapolis. And most recently, there has been another occurrence where a man is allegedly and has allegedly been attacked and blinded by ICE agents there in Minnesota. We're going to cover it here. We're going to see actually what happened in the video. You guys can find out what happened for yourself if you haven't heard about this, and you can see and come to your own decision on who was in the wrong here. And it says this is Camden Rumler. He's a 21-year-old that was protesting. And of course, he was in the same area of what happened. He was protesting against the Renee Good shooting. And this ended up happening to him. Let's go to this video from CBS Mornings and find out what happened. Actually see the video of this incident. It's wild.
On harsh. All right, recent clashes in Minnesota have shined a spotlight on harsh ICE tactics in cities nationwide, including against U.S. citizens who record them or protest their actions. One demonstrator seriously hurt in California last week is now telling his story. Video shows 21-year-old Caden Rumler, seen here with the bullhorn, as he was shot in the face by a federal agent. Rumler told Carter Evans he is now permanently blind in his left eye. A warning, you may find some images in Carter's report disturbing.
Okay, so this happened in California, and they were protesting what happened to Renee Good. Just a correction there.
In the face by a federal agent. Rumler told Carter Evans he is now permanently blind in his left eye. A warning, you may find some images in Carter's report disturbing.
Seems excessive.
I've replayed that night so many times in my head, especially at night when I try to sleep. It keeps me up. Sorry.
Caden Rumler says exercising his right to free speech nearly cost him his life. Last Friday in Santa Ana, California, a planned peaceful protest in response to the shooting death of Renee Good in Minnesota turned chaotic. At one point, a federal agent is seen pulling a protester from the crowd. Rumler, holding a megaphone, rushes after and is immediately shot in the eye with a less lethal round at close range.
Now, again, looking at this, was Camden in the wrong? Are you allowed to interfere with law enforcement? Is that what this situation is? And is this the kind of force that can be used is the question. We're going to talk about it, and we're actually going to get an attorney's take on this so we can see what's going on. But I want to know what y'all think about this in the comments in the chat.
I just started feeling like a bit of warmth down my face.
The video shows an agent dragging Rumler from the scene, his face covered in blood.
Dang.
Can you see it all out of your left eye?
No, not even light, and I never will.
Rumler says doctors found plastic, metal, and glass throughout his eye. The Department of Homeland Security hasn't yet specified what type of round struck him.
My understanding is there's still metal lodged in your face right next to your carotid artery.
Yes, there is a few millimeters away. My doctor said it's a miracle I'm still alive.
There are some people who are going to look at this video and say, that crowd was charging these officers. They were justified in protecting themselves.
It's a completely unacceptable use of force. There's a distinction between when an officer is genuinely threatened and a situation like this.
Imagine having to arrest someone and also keep an eye on someone that's coming quickly upon you. So he had very little time to react. We're not out there to hurt people, but at the end of the day, we're not out there to get hurt either.
In a statement, the DHS says 2 officers were injured in a highly coordinated campaign of violence. Rumler was charged with disorderly conduct.
Dang, this man got shot in the eye, blinded, and still got charged with disorderly conduct. That's tough.
Campaign of violence. Rumler was charged with disorderly conduct.
Do you wish you'd never gone?
No, I would go back and do it all again in a heartbeat. I won't sit back when there's injustice going on.
He would go back and do it again. Okay, hey, listen, I'm not going to shame somebody for their beliefs. How they move, though, I will have a perspective on this, and I think it was dumb. It wasn't worth it. If the police are trying to do their job, if federal agents are trying to do your job, you shouldn't interfere. And if someone gets snatched up, they get arrested, take it to court. I hope it was worth it. Let's get into the full interview here from KTLA out there in California.
Caden, K-A-D-E-N.
Yeah, K-A-D-E-N.
Do you want to give us your last name?
Sure. Rumler.
Okay, spell that, please.
Rummler.
Okay, and you are 21.
Yes, I'm 21.
Okay. Tell us about just what hit you. Do you know what hit you, and what are you going through?
They called it a PSL bullet. I'm not. We tried to contact them to know what kind of metal it is and what it is, and they kind of not let us know. Like my doctor tried to contact DHS, and they gave her a phone number, and then that person gave her a phone number, and that person gave her a phone number, and then that phone number went to nothing. And my dad went to the office and tried to ask them about it, and they kind of just wouldn't let tell him anything.
Dang.
So.
Basically, I think they call this a less than lethal round.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's gonna get a paycheck from this, to be honest. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough one. California is different, and this might be something a little bit easier to pursue, but I don't know if he's gonna get the payday that him and his attorney are looking for, especially with him being charged.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
How did it feel?
I remember when it hit me, I kind of didn't realize what happened, really. I remember falling to my knees, and I remember covering my head, and it was just like this pressure and this ringing in my ear, and like everything just started muffling, and like, I don't know, it felt kind of surreal in a sense. I felt like, I think I had so much adrenaline from the impact that I wasn't really fully feeling it yet, I don't think.
Did you know you were bleeding profusely?
I felt like a lot of warmth on my face, but like I couldn't really tell that I was bleeding quite yet. It wasn't until he started dragging me when I really felt it and knew I was bleeding.
Come on, man.
What were you saying in that moment
when he was dragging me?
Yeah.
This was closed and it was choking me, and I was trying to grab at it, and I was like, I can't breathe, and he just kept dragging me and didn't say a word. So.
What are your thoughts? What's going through your mind right now?
Right now, well, I'm not really sure. I'm mostly trying to remember and make sure I get the details right and stuff. Going over it in my mind. I've been going over it a lot lately. It's,
Yeah, I bet.
Kind of sucks having to relive it over and over to tell all these people, but it's something that I think needs to be done.
He said no regrets either.
Were you given medical attention quickly? What happened after you were dragged into the building?
Once I was dragged into the building, he had me like down on the floor, and I remember seeing this pile of blood. It was like really dark coagulated blood. It was like just like a pile bigger than my face, and like he pushed my head into it like this, and he just held me there, and then with his free hand, he was on top of me, and he was putting my hands behind my back really aggressively and handcuffing me, and I was pleading with him. I was like, call an ambulance, please call an ambulance. There's so much blood, please call an ambulance. I'm gonna bleed out, please call an ambulance. He didn't say a word. He was completely silent.
Did he ever mock you? Was he saying, you're gonna be blind in that eye?
Well, that was, when that happened, it was people, I couldn't see at this point, so I don't know who it was, but when they took me outside to go to the ambulance, which wasn't there yet, I was standing out in the cold, leaning against a rail, and they wouldn't let me sit because they were like, you won't be able to get up, so they made me stand, and I had no shoes on, and I was cold and shivering, and two people were talking. I couldn't see them. I couldn't see anything, and they kind of like said like they were like chuckling and saying how I won't ever get to see out of my left eye again, just chuckling about it. And I remember saying, shame on you guys for laughing at the fact that I'll never see again. Shame on you. And after that, they kind of shut up and was silent.
No.
How long?
Might have been other protesters.
I was really out of it. I was just trying to focus on staying conscious. So I'm not entirely sure, but it was at least 30 minutes.
What can you tell us about your injuries now and the prognosis? Will you be blind in that eye for life?
From what I've heard the doctors say and everyone else, yes, I will be blind for life. They said my globe was ruptured. I had like my lower lid was like cut up, and they had to take skin from my temple to fix it. There's a lot to it. I don't remember all the things that they said. I have fractures in my skull that they can't fix, and I can't sneeze or cough because it's dangerous too. I remember also when I shot, there was pepper in it, and I had pepper down my throat. It made it hard to breathe for a long time. They pulled a piece of plastic the size of a nickel out of my eye. They said I had shards of metal, glass, and plastic all throughout my eye and behind my eye and in my skull. And they also said that I had a piece of shrapnel metal about a few millimeters away from my carotid artery. And they said it was a miracle I survived, because if it got any closer, if it hit that, I would have died that night.
Yeah, and I mean, and it was a non-lethal round too. So can you imagine if that was a bullet? I mean, lights out, game over. But no pun intended, by the way. I got to do better with my wording. Anyway, let me know what y'all think about this in the comments in the chat. Was it worth it? Does something need to be done? Is this person going to get a payday, a big payday for their loss of their eye, or is it just a part of the police, a part of the ICE business? They were trying to protect themselves. I'll give my opinion on this. I think, again, it's the same thing with Renee Good. It's an unfortunate situation that could have been avoided. Don't pursue the police while they're trying to put someone in custody. We've seen situations less than this justifiably end in the worst result. So, man, just continue to protest, continue to do what you do peacefully. But intimidating or trying to intimidate these ICE officers or anyone in law enforcement, it's not worth it to me, and you're gonna lose. Let me know what y'all think.